Hello, welcome to the first solo episode of Door Kickers and Bootlickers. My name is James. I am the one of the four co-founders of this podcast. A little about myself: former Army Ranger. I've had 8 combat deployments, and now I am a police canine officer. Just a little introduction there. Today's episode, well, for me it's tonight, is about figuring out the problem, working the solution. And I know my military law enforcement guys will know that in a tactical way if their gun jams or if a suspect does something that they weren't expecting, blah blah blah. That's not what we're going to be talking about. And it is currently 4 o'clock in the morning for me. I just woke up, my wife went to work, and I'm actually sitting here recording this in my uniform. I was getting ready for work, I was looking at Cato, and I was thinking, just something doesn't feel right, you know? I was looking around, I was pacing around my room and everything, and I looked at my computer, and I thought, I'm gonna do an episode. So, I'm not joined by anyone. Of course, this is a solo, just me. Instead of using that term, finding the problem, working the solution, in a tactical way, it is used in a mental way in this episode. Quick little story. I just got back from my 3rd deployment. It was my first deployment as a ranger, and I consider it one of my worst. 2 of my friends were killed, and I was blown up, and I thought my other friend was going to die. He's actually the one of the co-founders of this, and long story short, it was bad. I don't want to get into detail, but I came home, and I had just gotten moved into this house in Georgia, and my wife wasn't with me. She was still finishing up her job in where we used to live. So she hadn't moved in with me quite yet, and I was all alone. It was this nice little house, barely anything in it because I didn't have much, and I kind of just shut down. I didn't talk to anybody. I didn't go outside much unless it was necessary, and I just avoided everyone and everything. And one day, I went into the garage and I put up a tarp, and I was ready to paint the walls red. Long story short. Until this guy, and he's one of the best people I know, called me, and we just talked for a little bit. He was a good friend of mine. We served together in the National Guard. He was a state trooper in Indiana, and we just talked. We talked and talked for 3 hours straight. And he pulled me out of it. I got better, and here I am now. I consider myself very successful. If you are having problems, of course, talk to someone. That is, of course, the the number one advice anyone can ever give anyone. But don't just talk to them. Be honest with them. You know, don't hide it from everyone. I hid it from my family and friends, and I regret it. I regret hiding it. And I haven't told some people to this day. But, if you know someone who's having problems, talk to them. Be real with them. Be their friend, their brother, their sister, their dad, their mom, their commanding officer, their sergeant, Be that guy or girl, not to be sexist, to inspire them, to help them. I know a guy, greatest guy, one of the greatest guys I've ever met. And he's in college and everything else like that. He's a great guy. Talk to him all the time. And excuse me. He was recently diagnosed with this disease that I'm not even going to try and pronounce, and it may ruin his chances of getting into the military. And from that point of view, I have been there. I was there at one point in my life. I didn't think I was going to make it in the military at all. And I got real low then, because it was my dream, It was my dream to be a ranger, It was my dream to fight battles and do hood rat shit, is what all the cool kids say. It got me really down, but what lifted me up were my friends and my family. He came to me, and I'm assuming I'm not the first, I wasn't the first person he told, but he told me, for some odd reason, he's never met me in real life. But he trusted me, and he looked to me. I didn't really, exactly tell him a whole bunch of inspirational crap. I didn't just pull shit out of my ass with that one, but long story short, I told him he'd be an amazing bat boy. He'd be an amazing ranger, and he said, "Thank you, that really means a lot." And that's all it takes sometimes, is just a little bit. Now, there's worse problems people are having than that, They're wanting to kill themselves and kill others and all that kind of stuff. And it's one of those things, damned if you do, damned if you don't, because you have like a 50% chance of actually helping them. But you miss all the shots you don't take. Just help people. And do something for them, whether it be the smallest thing physically possible or the biggest thing physically possible. Do something to them. Do something that they think. God, I can't speak. I apologize. I'm running on 3 cups of coffee right now. Do something for them, and make sure it's something that you won't regret as well, because you can't do something for this person to make them feel good, and then later down the road have it make you feel bad, because that just throws the entire system off. Do something good for them, but make sure it's something good for you. I'm not saying put yourself before them, never do that, but plan it all out. Do not make it something you're going to regret, because you fix this person, later down the road, shit's fucked. Now you're in that position because you did something and you really regret it, and it's coming back to haunt you. I've been in that situation. Everyone's been in that situation, but plan it out. Make sure it's an acceptable thing. Make sure it's a legal thing as well. But help someone in any way possible. Do not put them down. Do not talk shit to them 24/7. I'm I'm going to say it right now, I'm a major shit talker. You can ask any of the guys that we do this podcast with. I talk major shit. Anyways, just don't put people down too. You know, lift them up more than anything. And I know you military guys and police guys and all that, you guys talk a lot of shit to each other. But don't do it to people who can't take it. Because we are a different breed. We understand the dark humor. Don't do it to someone who doesn't get it as well. Because that then puts them down. And shit's fucked. But wherever I'm going with this 4 o'clock in the morning, coffee drunk fucking ramble of a podcast is don't be a douche. Help people. If you're having problems, talk to someone. If you know someone who's having problems, talk to them. Do not do bad things to that person too. You know, there's always these hidden problems. And it's one of those situations, damned if you do, damned if you don't. But be careful who you talk shit to and who you treat like an ass. Not everyone can take the dark humor. But, like I said, this is a random 4 o'clock in the morning, coffee-fueled rant of a podcast. The message I'm trying to get across, basically, is if you see someone in need, help them. If you are someone in need, get help. Make sure you treat the person in need correctly. And I will drop my personal Instagram down in the description below. And if you ever need anything, just contact me there. If you have any suggestions, contact me. But number one thing, if you need help, I will help you. Now, I can't exactly promise I'm going to get up and go drive to you and get you food and take you to the movies, but I will talk to you. I will contact people for you. I know guys everywhere that can help people. I can link you to better people, because I'm not, just keep in mind, I am not a trained professional in this kind of stuff. But if you ever need help, contact me. Just live, you know. It's suicide is never the answer. Don't go down that road. Avoid it as much as possible. One of my favorite quotes, and I actually just posted it on my Instagram yesterday. Live for something rather than die for nothing. George S. Patton Jr. Long story short, killing yourself will not solve anything. It will just make the situation worse. Now, you will think it will relieve you, but you gotta think about your family and your friends. What it'll do to them. Okay, I'm gonna stop this crazy rant before I hurt myself or anyone else. Takeaway from this podcast: help others in need. Get help if you are a person in need. Don't be an asshole to absolutely everyone. Treat everyone with respect. Stay classy. Stay American.